is all about discipline. Hey, Subi. Discipline. It's about refreshing. It's about what are you resistant and why are you resistant? Oh, don't we love to resist when we are given something to do by spirit? So I just want to start off by saying that you're not confused. You're not lost. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. You already have heard, felt, sensed what is yours. But what's happening is you might be a little bit all over the place. And the reason why you're probably all over the place is because you don't want to commit to accepting the responsibility of what God has put on your heart to do. Yes, I said it. Oh, God. You don't want to accept the responsibility. You want what you want, okay? You're not confused. You hear it, you feel it. But for whatever reason, you're not doing it. Because you think that having some discipline about a way of being, a way of living, you know, it's got like a negative connotation to it now. But what if I told you that just a little bit of discipline, just a little bit of structure can actually free you in supporting you for what it is that you say you want, for how it is you say that you want to live. Listen, I am, and the reason why I can say this is because I have been there. Oh yeah, God, okay, I want to do this, and this, okay, But where have I made space for any of my desires? And then when God actually has given me something to move with, did I put it on the calendar? Did I make room in my heart? Did I sit down like I did with my whiteboard that one time and work it all out? So I'm doing a disservice to myself with empty words. Discipline. If we remember the disciples, you know, is a way of support, a way of enhancement, a way of holding and molding and keeping us accountable for the good that we can experience, for the good that we say that we want. What about that? Let me talk about my favorite, which is getting enough rest, okay? I don't know about you, but I don't get enough rest some days. And I make the excuse, I just want to watch this last episode because I worked all day. You know, I did work for other people. I also worked out or whatever the case may be. And I just want a little downtime or a little vegetation time. And then it might eat into my rest. But what I'm saying is having a structured sleep schedule can actually give me, Tara, more energy when I wake up the next day refreshed, ready to go, full of all the inspirations that God has given me in my slumber. So, what does that mean? It means, people, we can't just say we want something and don't do anything about it. Okay? We have to give those things energy. We have to create some wonderful guidelines for ourselves that support us now. You might be the kind of person who needs to set you up a reward system, okay? Like, what I'm doing now, you know, for working out is, I'm marking when I'm going. I'm marking, when I'm doing my water and all of that. And my treat is not food. My treat is that I get to spend some time doing this one, and I'm not telling anybody yet, this one other little thing that I like to do, But that's my treat to me, And I put it now in my phone where it's like I'm giving myself a gold star because that's what I need. Now, you may not need that. You know, you may have enough good feeling about what you do. But maybe you need some, you know, kind of personal accolades. So give it to yourself. If you need to high five yourself in some kind of way for keeping true to your word, then do it. Absolutely do it. We get caught in ruts. We get caught in, you know, hey, Deborah Jones. But we don't have to stay there. If there's been a desire put on your heart, it's not by accident. So when you receive that which Spirit is giving you, if you don't know how to move it forward, then you ask for how to move it forward. But as I know, you've been given something. Even if it's just for right now, like for me, Tara, right now is take care of your body and share whatever comes up. Okay, so I'm doing that. I'm doing that. And I'm working on having just enough of a gentle structure to keep me successful, to keep me accountable to me. Like, our integrity is everything. Yes, it's important when we keep our word for others, but man, how many times have you not kept your word for yourself? And this is not about beating yourself up. It's just about paying attention. Where can you be like a disciple of Christ consciousness, of love for yourself, and support you? So if that's a new bedtime, you know, if it's putting a timer on social media, no, that is a real thing. The other day, I remember I went on to do something. I lost 30 minutes. I lost 30 minutes. And not that I didn't look at things that were empowering, because that's what the algorithm is giving me, but that's not what I was wanting to do in that moment. So, set yourself up for success. You know, if you're one of those people you have to work out in the morning, lay your clothes out. Have your water ready. Have your snacks ready. You know, I have certain meals that I like to do. I notice that I do better having more structure when I work out earlier in the day than when I do in the evening. So I'm just like, okay, I'm noticing now, like at night, okay, what do you have? Make sure you got everything you need. So it's like these little things that can help us. So discipline is not a bad word. It is a word to hold you. It is a word to like say, okay, you got you. God's got you. And allowing these little steps to happen is going to make everything all right. And so if we get caught in these ruts, and it's like, okay, I'm caught in a rut of not being able to do anything for myself. I'm caught in a rut of, I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I never do. Maybe you need a refresh, you know. Maybe you need a refresher course in loving yourself. So do something different. The whole thing is, if we want something different, we have to do something different. If we want to be different, then we have to be different. Take yourself out of your rope. Take yourself out of your rut. Take yourself out of a routine that is no longer helping you. So if I suggested the other day, you know, I was like, let's go for a night walk, you know. I know some people around here, they run at night. Now you might have to, you know, depending on where you live, that might not necessarily be an option. But maybe if you're a person who stays up later because your schedule successfully allows for that, you know, it would be okay even if you did some exercise in the house, you know, and still give yourself enough time to get after rest. But, you know, if it's not night walking or running, maybe it's a cold splash. Something I've started doing, and it's, you know, I love that nice, warm, hot shower, but I'm kind of at the end making it where I'm switching it to cold to kind of wake me up. Give me a bolt, you know, and a jolt, because that's causing me to be aware. The thing about ruts and routines is we start to not pay attention, so things don't have as much meaning as they formerly did. So the idea of the refresh, of refreshing yourself with a discipline, is to wake yourself up. It's to move you in a way that's going to be better for you. It's for you to say, all right, I'm listening to me, and I'm going to give me some attention. Yes? I'm going to give me some love. I'm going to give me some focus. If any of you are parents, then you know how maybe when your children were younger, the whole idea of going to bed or making sure they had breakfast or teaching them things, about having to go to potty or whatever before going to bed, or looking both ways when you cross the street. Whatever it is, we learn later on when we get to be adults, how to send emails that are professional and friendly and not just going off on people. This is discipline. This is structure. Have you heard about the thing about to become an expert in something, you have to do it for 10,000 hours? Most of us, we're grown, so we've been alive way more than 10,000 hours. But what if you really did seek to put 10,000 hours in your self-care, your self-love, creating light structures that actually give you freedom? They make things less frustrating. I know I want to be an expert in taking care of myself. I know I want to be more in tune constantly and consistently with who I am and what it is that I'm supposed to do. And I'm hoping you want that for yourself as well. So what can you do for your refresh? Are you eating the same old breakfast? Are you going to the same restaurant? Are you entertaining the same social media? Are you entertaining the same programs that you might watch on Netflix or Hulu or whatever? Are you going out with the same people? Are you doing the same exercises when you do exercise? Are you, when you go to certain places in meetings, are you sitting in the same chair you always sit in? Do something different. If you want different, you have to be different. As I said, you've already heard some things for you to do. Stop pushing them away and allow yourself to lean into it. Sit down and create some order for yourself in a way that's going to help you, in a way that's going to set you up for massive success, okay? Just massive, massive, massive. I think about how there was at one time, different things that I wanted to learn how to do. And it would always be, oh yeah, one day I'm going to do that. Oh, one day I'm going to do that. And then it was like, well, one day might not never come. So I purposefully, I looked for a belly dancing class because that's what I wanted. Recently, I looked for a workout program that I think suits how I need to work out, and that's working for me. And I've also sort of changed my idea of what protein looks like. I'm going through some changes. Yes, I'm still eating meat, but I'm introducing more plant-based. Ooh, that's something. Eat some live vegetables. Eat some live food, okay? I can tell the difference when I eat food that is alive versus when I eat things, that are frozen or whatever the case may be. And these are not judgments against me or us, but I want different, so I have to do different. And I've decided that I'm going to look at this word discipline like I'm a disciple of Christ consciousness. So I'm going to support, in Christ consciousness, it's all about love. So I'm going to support love. And I'm going to support me as love and do the things that are going to help me be my best, shine my brightest, be my kindest. Like, this is real. And so, for those of us who are resisting, why? That's why. Just ask yourself that. Are you worth 5, 10, 15 minutes to put something on your calendar? Are you worth 5, 10 minutes to set up a plan, to vision it and visualize this new idea of you or the thing you want to do or the thing you want to be as a part of your daily? If you don't know that you're worth it, I am telling you that you are worth it. And if you need support, if you need accountability partner, you got all you have to do is you can just DM me or you can just text me. You can say, Sarah, I need a little help. No judgment. And I'll say, well, what do you need accountability for? And you'll say to do this or do that or whatever. And I'll say, and how would you like that to look? Does that look like a text? Does that look like a call? Does that look like an email? And I will support you because it's about community. So you don't have to do your discipline alone. You don't have to switch things to where, oh, I just got to take care of me. No, a refresh can also actually be you helping somebody. Not in an enmeshment kind of way, but you going out of your way to help people. You know, in a few weeks, we're going to be in the not the Halloween season. We're going to be in the holiday season. That's usually when a lot of us, you know, we find, okay, I'll be kind to other people, but you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait till for the holidays in order to be kind to people, in order to help someone, you know. Think of a time when someone helped you when you least expected it. And man, the difference that it made. Oh my God, when I think of the hundreds of people who have put me up on game in some kind of way, in some kind of capacity. When I was studying to be a developer, software developer, computer engineer, whatever you want to call it, I had help from what I thought would be some of the most unlikely people. They supported me in understanding what it is, you know, how to do what I needed to do. So you have the universe rooting for you. You have terror rooting for you. You can do this with just a little bit of, and if you don't like the word structure, find a word that's better for you. If you don't like the word discipline, find a word that's better for you. Maybe you like guardrails. You know how when we go bowling and they have those kiddie rails they put up, and it's not just for kids. Okay, because I remember a time period when I hadn't been bowling for a while, and I was like, okay, I need those little kiddie rails. Look. So find a word that helps you create something that will help you do what it is you say you want to do. Something that's going to support you and loving you massively. The refresh, the discipline. Look at why are you resisting? What is that about? What is telling you that you're not worth doing this thing differently? You're not worth having this thing you say that Spirit put on your heart. Try it. And just start tomorrow. You know, somebody said, oh, you can't be 200 pounds and, I don't know, climb up the rock wall at the gym. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know, or you like to sing, but you are definitely afraid of speaking, you know, singing in front of people. Try karaoke at home and then just go try it. And you know what? Do it with your eyes closed and just sing from your heart. Give yourself, you know, the opportunity to just be. Like, you can just be. Remember, if you want different, you have to be different. You cannot be the same. When I think about discipline too, so I have an altar, and you know, it served me really well. You know, it has my singing bowl, it has some crystals, it has some lotus leaves, it has Buddha heads, it has some other things. But that served me for a while. That particular altar, although I love looking at it, it's not where I'm going to every day. I actually am going into another space in my home that doesn't really even have all of that, where I'm able to center. So I'm saying to you, as a disciple of Christ consciousness, create a new altar for yourself. What's shaking up in you that you want a little bit different, that you know that you need a little bit different? Look at that. Look at that. So, and what's another word for discipline? You know, I said guardrails. Maybe it's gentle boundaries, you know, or maybe it's curtains, because walls, you know, that might be too thick, you know. loving filters. Maybe that's what it is, you know? So as a reminder, you're not confused. You know that there's something in your heart you're meant to do. And so I'm asking you to stop resisting because you don't want to commit or take on the responsibility of doing what you're supposed to do. Just go ahead and do it. And see how much more rich your life will be, how much more wealthy, how much more powerful, how much stronger you're going to feel. I've noticed that a lot of times when I say, oh, I can't do something or I put it off, once I do get to it, I'm like, man, girl, Carroll, you could have been did that. Why didn't you do that? Now, I'm also a believer that things come in right timing. So I'm not gonna, you know, like, oh, make that seem like it's just an oh so bad thing. Because the thing that I did miss out on is experiencing the joy of whatever that was. But it doesn't make me like a bad person or anything. I just want to make that point known. So the other thing in your discipleship, you've been a disciple of love, is you have not because you have not asked. You have not because you ask not. I said it. So what is also there, that you have this one piece of desire, you have this one thing calling in your heart, but there's a little bit part of it, you're kind of scared to say what you really, really want surrounded in. If you say it to yourself quietly, if you say it in your bathroom, your shower, if you say it when you're driving in your car, if you say it inside to yourself, bring it out, say it aloud, put it on paper, put it on your board, bring it to your mind often, do it. Do it. Do it. Like, don't let the thing you love actually be some sort of block for you. Excuse time is over. 2025 is the cycle year. The number 9 is completion. So you are to complete some things that have been on your heart. As we go into 2026, the ending of 2025 for a new beginning. So, do you want to be here next year with those same things on your heart, having not given them some attention? Come on now. No. So you know what you do? You take out your little piece of paper and you take out your pen and you say, I don't know, I want to lose, 10 pounds, whatever. So then you decide, okay, what can I start doing to lose that 10 pounds? You might just put down on the paper, work out, eat better. Okay, now let's go a little bit better. What does workout look like? How many times a week? When? What does eat better mean? So maybe it's, I just start with drinking more water. Maybe, like I said, you include some live foods. Maybe you say, okay, well, I'm going to take out soda. These are just examples. But what my point is you, as the disciple of love for yourself and others, have to create the plan so it's not just in here and in here, you're experiencing it out here. Okay, like, that's important. That's essential. That's what we want for you. That's what I want for you. That's what, there are, like I said, there are people who care, and I'm one of those people who care. So I know that you have the capacity because I know that I have the capacity. Now, you've got 17 things. You may not be able to give energy to all 17 of them at this time. That may be counterproductive because you may not have the energy, the hours in the day, whatever it is. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, as you are having your quiet time with Spirit, you're going to put them 17 things down. And you're just going to say, Spirit, what would you have me do? See, I'm going to keep saying it. It's not hard. It is not hard. Not hard at all. Thank you, Anonymous OTS. And thank you, LL. It is not hard at all to show yourself some care. Many of us, we, have jobs or places that we work. So I imagine in your jobs, There are probably some rules or standard operating procedures or, you know, some mandates. And I imagine, at least to some degree, you abide by those, if for no other reason than to keep the job, to keep a check coming in, okay? So my point is, if you can do that for someone else, certainly you can do that for you. In a way that shows that you're honoring yourself, in a way that shows that you love yourself. Discipline is not negative. I'm not talking about the punitive when you don't do what you do, or your kid didn't do right, so you take away their tablet. I'm talking about setting yourself up for, okay, this is how I want to live. I see myself expanding. I see myself having a new awareness of life. I see myself learning a new language. Everything doesn't just have to be a far off, impossible have, whatever you choose to have. So create systems, create small ways to help you. And just start small. Start tiny. You know? Start with this water.
Don't turn on the radio, but the music that's inside of you.
You know? Start with better snacks. Oh, okay. And for those of us, not us, because I'm not. For those of you who may be single, if you find yourself attracting people who you don't really feel match your essence, then I'm going to ask you, what are you putting out? Are you being authentic? What guardrails have you created for your dating process? Okay? So then you can attract the good that you are, the light that you are, the wholeness that you are, the quality that you are. Are you just wanting company so much that you're kind of looking past some red flags or some yellow flags? I get it. There was a time in my life, that I was single, and I felt like I was a quality being, and I wanted to be with somebody. But I learned everybody was not worth my time. So create something for you that's going to help you and support you out here on this dating scene. Because I hear some of my friends say, oh, it's so bad, it's so terrible, people of this, people of that. Okay, and I receive that. And at the same time, I know them and their quality, so then I know there are other quality people out there. So I might just be sitting still and saying, Spirit, what energy would you have me emit to allow the fullness of myself to express? And that may be just enough for your right person to be attracted to you. So discipline comes in all types of ways, but it comes in a way to help you, man. It comes in a way that you can have whatever it is you want. If you start from within and you create a plan, you don't just write it down once, you give it energy with your affirmations and with your actions. Okay? Your refresh and your releasing of resistance, it has to do with some action as well as some feeling. Alright? So I'm not accepting I can't lose weight. I'm not accepting there's nobody, out here for you to date. I'm not accepting that you can't make enough money. I'm not accepting that, your children are just bad. I'm not accepting that you can't have cordial relationships with your neighbors or your co-workers. So you don't accept it either. So refresh. Take that breath. Ask yourself, how can I be a disciple of love and allow more good in this area of my life? Where can I start? It starts with a decision just to change it for yourself. You can help like Spirit spoke to me for me to express here. So, it's all about that love. It's all about that love. So tell me, why are you resisting? What's holding you back? What's holding you back? Just think about that, like real talk. What is keeping you from doing what it is you want to do? Now, if money was the first thing that came to mind, all right, so then let's give some energy around your idea of abundance and prosperity. What does that mean? If you say, oh, I would do XYZ if I had, this much money. So where can you shift your ideas of money and not having enough? Well, the first way to always shift the idea of not having enough is to note about what you do have. Okay? So you're looking at me right now, so you've got electricity. You probably ate today. If you don't have a car, I'm sure you have access to public transportation. Look at the ways in which you are experiencing prosperity and abundance. Every time you pay a bill, I know sometimes I will take a screenshot and I will handwrite on there, thank you. Okay? Because you have to stay in that knowingness. And then once you can sort of heal that and move past that, then you don't have any excuses. So I'm inviting you to work with your excuses if you feel like there's something that's keeping you from creating the discipline, the guardrails, the gentle structure that you need to support yourself. Okay? It's possible. It's so possible. I know that a lot of times for me, what used to be a thing about resistance was, and I'll say it, I got this thing about I don't want nobody tell me what to do. Plain and simple, okay? Don't tell me what to do. Even if it's something good for me. Is that you too? Now, if that is you, as I am doing with myself, I looked at, where does this come from? And for me, I noticed it came from dictatorial, school and jobs and all of that. This idea of feeling controlled. So then I had to work to create more control for myself and recognizing that I am the one that is choosing to do XYZ, whether it is in support of the school or the job idea or whatever. So you really do have your own control. So it is your choice. Now, if you don't want to do something just because somebody suggested it, you're perfectly within your right. But if it's something that could really help you, just think about it. Think about right now all the reasons why, this can help me and I don't want to do it. And why am I resistant? Our healing oftentimes it's not so far away. It's confronting how we feel about a lot of things. It's confronting what's really going on with us. And we can do that. We get to look at us and, you can do some shadow work around it. Shadow work is looking at those unconscious parts of yourself, those things that you don't like, those patterns you find yourself in, and just acknowledging them. That's where you start first. And recognizing, and I'm going to say, I'm a secret smoker. I'm not, but just use this for an example. Then I say, that I can love myself even though I am a secret smoker. And then I'm going to create some affirmations and some mirror work to allow me to release this thing of being a secret smoker. Releasing shame, releasing guilt. Oh my goodness, y'all. Shame and guilt are these two things that are absolutely worthless. And man, when I think about how they bog so many of us down, I mean just bog us down. I can think of, I was upset about something. I had did something, I thought wrong or whatever. Didn't give a customer the whole whatever. And I just felt a little guilty. And it was like, somebody else talked about that similar situation with me recently, and that made me think about it. It's like, what am I feeling shame for? It is an empty emotion. Why am I feeling guilty? If there's a way for me to course correct, then I can do that. And if I can't do it with a person or people, I can do it within myself. Simply forgive myself. So here is an opportunity, if you are feeling a lot of shame and guilt, to create your discipleship plan around it. When you feel shame, pay attention to it and ask yourself, why am I feeling shame? And then say to yourself, you don't have to feel shame. Who you are is good enough. What you do is more than enough. And I love you still. I want you to say that to yourself in the mirror. Okay? We don't have to just keep falling into the pit. Set yourself up. You know? You may not be, a basketball player or a football player or an athlete, but you're still very much a person of substance who can create ease for yourself, harmony for yourself, and how you move in your world. I was thinking about, there are some things that I'm not doing right now, but I looked at some of my processes for, how I was doing something. And I had all this extra steps in it that really wasn't necessary. So where in your life have you created all this extra? Is it shame? Is it guilt? Are you doing things to feed your ego? Is it working for you? That's what I always come back to. This is about creating a life for you that's going to make things be more in flow, more in harmony. If there is someone that you have some sort of contention with right now, maybe they're crossing the boundary, and you're trying to figure out, how do I tell them? What do I say to them? So then they know, I like you, but I need this. Well, I would say first you start with acknowledging how you feel. You can write it out, and you can come up with a way within that you're going to say, the God in me speaks to the God in so-and-so. The God in me acknowledges the God in so-and-so. To first be easy. Then if it's time to actually have a conversation, you can talk to them about it. You can chat GPT it to help you. You can talk to a trusted friend, therapist, advisor. Because you don't have to allow people to cross your boundaries. That's also a part of discipline. As a former people pleaser, right? It's had to please everybody. I'm loving no. But I'm loving it in ease and grace and harmony. No. No, I can't do that. No, I don't have to have that. No, I get back to you. And I do get back. And I just say no. Or I'll say yes and XYZ, because that's that other thing, that's that corporate thing. Yes, I can do XYZ for you, and you're going to help me do XYZ for me. Ooh, I just shifted everything, right? It's about creating discipline, structure, our own standard operating procedures, our own manual of success, but in an easy way, in a light way. You don't need to sit down and write it all out right now. You can start real small, real tiny, and it just might start with your children, that you can't holler at me, or your coworker who brings, stinky food to lunch. I don't know. Just invite them to be considerate of others in a kind way. All right. So, refresh your routines, your practices. If you found things to be stale, you have to create new discipline to help you elevate in ways that gonna allow you to be your full self that Spirit is calling you to do. Remember I said, you can talk about that night walking. Do you want to learn how to craft? Do You want to learn how to crochet? You know, I took a belly dancing class, you know, and I saw in St. Louis, it's this lady, she has these, cause you know, we got 100 slides, y'all. And she's offering the first class for free. I'm actually going to reach out because I would like to know how to do more slides than the wobble. Don't laugh at me. Oh, no. I was able to pick up boots on the ground. But then I saw like a million other versions of other things, and it's like, you know what? I just have to get back to the same old two-step. You know, same old two-step. You know, I'm out here. Now the house music, you really don't do the same old two-step. You do, but you might do it in a, you know, a four-step kind of way. So your own discipline. Where are you seeing in your life where you're like, you know what? I actually do have some discipline around something. I have some discipline around, you know, my daily schedule. I have some discipline or some order or structure around, you know, what I'm doing with my kids. Maybe you make sure your kids have a particular diet, or maybe, like I said, maybe you make sure they have a great bedtime. Where are you supporting yourself in any way? In any way. Just, I want you to think of just one way that you are supporting yourself. Even if it's just, you know what, I am not spending all my time on social media. I am making sure that I prepare for my, you know, meetings the next day. You know, I am getting more steps in, you know. And if you want to, you know, shout that out right here, just say it, you know. I'm being more friendlier to my neighbors, you know. I'm taking the dog out more. I'm walking more. I'm doing my homework. I'm doing my growth work. I'm drinking, you know, a little less Pepsi, okay? That's an option. So we have things that we are already doing to help us. And so it's good to remember those, because that's going to support you in a new thing where you might need a little bit more help. You might need a little gentle nudge for yourself, yeah? Yeah. So think about that. So I want to shout out to you for anything that you are doing that is helping you, that is supporting you, that is growing you, that is making you feel better about yourself. So whatever that is, okay? If you're getting up and you're washing your face and brushing your teeth, all right? Yay! Before you go out and be around people, all right? If you no longer are doing road rage and cursing people out when they cut you off, yay! I support you, you know? If you learned a new recipe, you know, I support you. If you took a new way of looking at somebody and now it's not angry and, I can't have nothing to do with them, I support you. Pat yourself on the back for that. Yes, because you're doing it. Now, where is space where you can have a little bit more guardrails, a little bit more gentle filters, curtains, you know, to help you, not walls, but things that are gonna make things be great for you, yes? I love black coffee. Oh, and that's who this is. Right now I am, man, like I said, when I said 17 things, so for these few weeks, it's like, no, you're only concentrating on 3. You know, that's the energy that I have right now. And I invite everyone else to do that. When you have different things, you decide, you know, what you can give energy to and how much energy you can give to things. You know your schedule, you know your capacity, you know your capabilities. So do that, so then you can still have, you know, some success. I don't want you to set yourself up to fail. Don't create this new discipline plan of, I'm gonna get up every day at 5 a.m. I'm gonna go walking at the gym. I'm gonna drink 96 ounces of water a day. You know, I'm gonna put down the cookies and the ice cream. Okay, that's great. But is that real for you right now? For somebody, it might be. And if that is true, can you sustain that? So make it easy on yourself and still hold yourself accountable. And like I said, if anybody needs any type of accountability, you can DM me and say, Tara, I need accountability on staying away from that bad man, woman, them. I will support you in that. Tara, I need accountability on You know, taking an exam to expand your career. Oh my goodness, I know that there's so many people, oh, I could get more money if I just get this certification. But they're not doing the things towards the certification. And remember I said if it's money, then you want to work on your why is that an excuse. But in the meantime, you could be studying as you stack your paper, okay? You could be studying, so then when it is your space to have that particular certification, you got it. You're ready. And bringing up certifications, there are lots of different grants for things like that. So I want you to search that, Google that, ChatGPT that, TikTok that, whatever. I found a lot of interesting grants for everything. If you don't get the first one, you just keep trying. Just keep trying. You know, and that's what this whole life is about. Even in me setting up things to support me, even in me creating some type of gentle structure that's giving me freedom, it might not always come as easily as I want to or as quickly as I want to, but that's okay. I still keep going. I still keep going. And let me tell you, things that take a little bit longer, at least I know for me, oh my goodness, when it happens, oh, it's just so much more sweeter. I don't take anything for granted. Not anything. Not anything. I remember, look, I had to give me some certifications along the way. Oh my goodness, I remember when we had the trucking business. Shout out to LL, because she did a lot. And I had to just learn so much. When I think about, you know, having to learn the boards and having to learn the things for the gas and having to learn things I had never, like lump of fees, like what? You know, but it's all possible, you know. And for that time, you know, we did that. You know, now I'm on to something else. So, where are you showing yourself some discipline? Where are you helping yourself? And where are you not? Where are you not helping yourself? Oh, this is called As Long As You Believe. So, as long as you believe you can have something different, and you have that feeling around it, and you keep that energy, a possibility of it, it's yours. As long as you believe that you can't have what you really want, and you keep that energy around it, then it's not yours. Whatever you believe, you're right. Because that's the energy that you're bringing forth. But I know that we here, we can do whatever it is to help us have good lives. I mean, come on. You know, discipline is not rigidity. You know, it's not the, you know, the military as I've seen it on TV. I have never been in the military. I've only seen the movies of people being, you know, in basic boot camp or whatever. And I know only what people have told me, you know, but I heard, you know, it's very, very structured and very, very rigid. And for some of us, me, that does not work well with me. You know, and even in my new discipleship of Christ consciousness, being a disciple of love, every day is not necessarily the same. Because that's it too. I don't want you to create a new rut or a new routine that has no flair, no flavor, and you just feel like, so then you give up on it. No. Remember how I said I might make the gold stars, my own version of my little gold stars for when on the days I make it to the gym and drink my water, because that makes me feel good. So what is something that you can do to support you, how many words that was, to support you as you're creating some gentle guidelines for what it is you want to experience. Remember, I know you're not confused. I know you got something on your heart. I know you've been called for something. And I know you've been shucking and shirking your responsibility. You don't want to be accountable for it, because if you acknowledge it, then you have to do it. So let's get out of our marijuana state of high to get to the real high, elevation in spirit. Don't let keeping ourselves sedated, in either, in marijuana, in drugs, whatever, or in drama. Ooh, drama. I remember some years ago, my grandmother, she passed, and we always joked that one of the things that kept her around as long as it did was drama. And I think maybe when things got too peaceful, she was like, I'm out of here. Because that's what she thrived on. So here's your invitation. What are you thriving on? Okay. What are you thriving on? What are you thriving on? What are you feeding to yourself? All of it. I want you to look at that. I need you to look at that, because that is what your world will consist of. And especially if it's something you don't want your world to mostly consist of, then it's like you're doing yourself a disservice. And everything about this life can actually be a benefit to us. Little gentle guidelines, little refresh, releasing some of your resistance, looking at why you're resisting, doing your shadow work, giving yourself the opportunity to just come different, just because, even if you still feel like, I'm holding on to all this whatever animosity or this fear, I'm still gonna make that call. I'm still gonna write that paper. I'm still gonna do that resume. I'm still gonna apply for that job. I'm still gonna say hi to that person who I like. I'm still gonna get rid of some of the old things in my house. I'm still gonna take that walk around the park. It's all available. It's all available. So I just know that for me, I have to give myself energy, because I'm a grown-up. And being a grown-up, I want to have as much time here in this earthly plane as possible. And in having as much time, I decided I wanted to have as much time doing what I really want to do, experiencing what I really want to experience, living how I really want to live, loving how I really want to love, giving what I really want to give. Like, that's it for me. And so I'm saying that you can do that too. Gentle structures, very gentle structures. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be like this super hard, this challenging task. It's all possible. Well, I like this song. I like her voice. So, your non-homework or your thought work, your processing work is, where can you give yourself a little bit more discipline? Where are you already having great discipline or a little bit of structure that's creating some freedom for you, some ease for you? Okay? I want you to think about that. It's a possibility. And then where can you refresh your how you're doing stuff? Like I said, me adding in the cold showers, one thing I know as a woman, like sometimes I put color in my hair, I get a new fit, you know what I'm saying? New bobble, new bangle, whatever the case may be. Read a new book. Spend time with people who I don't normally spend time with, learn something new that I don't know as much about as I wanted to about. Refresh. So you can release your resistance. You try something new, it's kind of so like you open this gentle door, you open your heart to more. And so that which is already on your heart, which you are avoiding, you might start doing it, right? So we love house music, we love spirituality, we love God. That's what I can say. So, and remember, I said if you need an accountability partner, I'm a real person. I don't just talk the talk. I walk the walk. And if you're in St. Louis and you want to go for a walk, I'll go for a walk with you. God is good, yes. All right, disciples of Christ consciousness, disciples of love. Where can you show yourself more love? So I thank you for sticking around. I thank you for listening to me today. I really, really appreciate it. I'll be back. You can follow me, then I'll follow you. If you have any questions about anything, you want to know who this music was, just reach out to me. Thank you so much. And I know the truth of you. I know you have wonderful capacity to allow Spirit to use you as designed. Be open. That's good here for you. Okay? That's good here for all of us. All right, I think I'm about to roll on out. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Be blessed, be light, be joy.